Oh.
We're live, by the way. So
Cool. To both.
We should be.
To both.
Yes.
YouTube and the Twitch. Welcome, everybody. I guess I'll just dive right in, as we have to do. This is Awesome Hardware, episode 135, side B. If you missed side A, you can go ahead and check it out on Paul's channel. That's youtube.com/paulshardware. You can follow the link in the description below. If you're watching on Twitch, then just stay where you are. Thanks for joining us and sticking with us this far. This is a tech news show, vaguely, that we like to do every single Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, you know, we like to have some fun, drink some beer occasionally. Once in a while, we'll have a potty mouth and we'll swear. So if you have little ones around or if you have sensitive ears, then you know, it's just making me nervous watching you do that. Then be warned. This is a show
what are you worried about?
for mature, unmature audiences only. Okay, just want to make that clear. Why are you taking your time so much with that cork?
Well, this is fruity. This is strawberry beer, and this is a present from Joe, editor. He edits for both of us, and this is around Christmas time. It's also gone to Vegas and back, so I'm not sure if it's going to be in good shape or not.
Just don't. How'd you make that look so easy?
It just popped off.
I just don't know how you just did that. Because I mean, when I try to do it, well, I don't really have to go into detail, but
strawberry. It's very strawberry. What? Strawberry beer.
Is that the level we're at right now?
Yeah, I've been.
It's very strawberry.
I've been saving that. Made that up months ago.
That was gonna save this show.
Gives us a shot.
Save this channel. All right, cheers.
Cheers
to all of you. Thanks for being here. Feel free to drink along with us. Ooh, that's good. Yummy.
It's very strawberry.
Tasty. Thanks, Joe.
Kind of reminds me of lambic.
Lambic, yes, good stuff. You guys should check out our stores. We sell stuff. It's a great way to support us and also get something in return, as opposed to just like a like or a comment or something like that. We sell things like shirts, glasses, mugs, mouse pads, and more.
This is the shirt that Kyle's wearing today.
This is the shirt.
RGB
I
everything.
can demo it for you right now. I get comments on this shirt all the time. They're like, "Hey, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's me on the shirt." They're like, "You're lame," and I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Why are you wearing a shirt with your picture on it?
Basically, that's the response I get. But you guys can wear it, no consequence.
You can.
No problems there. Paul's store is also great. He's got plenty of stuff.
PaulShardware.net.
A lot of similar things, but like with a Paul flair.
My logo
to them
instead of Kyle's.
Yes, and if you guys order something from either of our stores, we'll yell Johnson at you by the end of the show, or double Johnson if you happen to get something from both of our stores.
Nice
that's even doubly good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's our intro. That's what we got. That's what we're working with. So we can
let's just accept it and move on.
Let's just accept it and move on. Exactly. So we can dive into our first segment, sort of picking up where Paul left off with tech news.
We have no segment lower thirds.
No segment lower thirds because there was
technical
a scramble
difficulties before the show.
There's a total scramble today. Looks like I'm gabbing.
Everyone should be happy that we're even streaming at all.
Yeah.
But no lower thirds today.
I know you'll all forgive us because you're all kind and nice. Okay. So let's talk about our first article here, which is Paul sort of talked about this a little bit, net neutrality, and how the fight to save net neutrality is not over. Just because Ajit Pai and all of his evil minions decided to, deregulate net neutrality after all the good stuff that Tom Wheeler had done, former chairman of the FCC, doesn't mean that net neutrality is dead, per se. Not yet, anyway. Because apparently there have been... let's see. I guess you kind of have to understand how it all works. If an independent agency, like the FCC, for example, is what we're talking about here, were to make a decision, like fuck over net neutrality, then the federal lawmakers, senators and that sort of thing, they still have 60 days to sort of stand up and say, no, that's bullshit, to sort of overturn that decision before it actually goes through. This all falls under the Congressional Review Act. Okay, so this is sort of a good thing. Congressional Review Act is good for anyone who doesn't want net neutrality to go away right now, because it's going to give us a fighting chance to actually bring it back, or to reinstate it. So since last Tuesday, about 40 senators signed on and said, we don't want net neutrality to go away, we want to keep it. And then since then, 10 more senators have signed on. So we have a total of 50. I checked. The math checks out.
That's half the senators.
The math checks out. That is half the senators, ladies and gentlemen. There's 100. We have half. You know how many more we need to actually kill this Ajit Pai nonsense? We need one. We just need one more senator.
And half the House and a non-veto from Trump.
I was getting it. But it's something. But it's something. Yes, exactly. No. So we not only do we need 51 senators to vote in favor of destroying what Ajit Pai is trying to do, we would also need that to go to the Republican majority House and also have it signed off by President Trump. It sounds like a long shot because it kind of is, but anything is possible. Let's not lose hope here. That's when possibility dies, is when you destroy hope. Also, the one remaining vote would have to come.
I think your link is wrong.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Sorry, I'll see if I can fix it.
Thanks.
Please continue.
The one remaining vote that we would need is going to have to come from a Republican, because all of the Democrats are already in full support of net neutrality, and we've actually got a handful of Republicans on board. So we would just need one more Republican to vote in favor of net neutrality, and then what are we doing? A raid? It looks like there's a raid going on. Barnacles?
I think Jerry. We got Jerry raided.
God damn it, Jerry!
Got Jerry raided.
Always putting your poop naps in people's business. I don't know what that means, but it probably makes sense in some context. Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry and Jerry's viewers.
Jerry viewers.
We love you guys.
I like getting raided once in a while.
Yeah.
It makes me feel important.
Feels sexy.
Sexy, hell yeah. Can raid my body.
Can feel the hand. It's like I can physically feel the hands of each raider, like rubbing us all over the place.
Hashtag me too.
That's what I get.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, it's a long shot, but we're still in the fight. The first lawsuit to challenge Ajit Pai's decision could come as early by the end of this month, and then at that point, with a vote on the Congressional Review Act, we could potentially take place this summer, pending delays with the Congress, whatever they have on their schedule. So yeah, this is all to say that don't lose faith, people. We could still make the internet a free and open internet. People are all freaking out, Ajit Pai did this, and now net neutrality is dead. Not yet. It's looking like it kind of might be, but not yet. There's still a little bit of hope. The last hope. Let's move on, though. We got a lot of stuff to cover here.
Okay.
I'm going to really go over this really quickly because Paul already sort of touched on it on his half, but just to reiterate that GPU prices are absolutely insane right now. And this is an article from WCCF Tech. There's a couple of reasons why. A couple of things that we could attribute to these insane inflated prices. Just to briefly go over them. Mining performance of these cards, of the cards that are affected, are pretty good. And we'll expand on that a little bit in a sec. Lack of competition and memory supply. So it's interesting that the Vega 64 from AMD and the GTX 1080 Ti from NVIDIA have both increased in pricing tenfold, like an insane amount, but for slightly different reasons. There's some overlap there, but it's kind of interesting how they point this out. So the Vega 64, just to put things in perspective, MSRP is $500. All right, and then it was probably around $600, $700, $800 by the end of the year. Now it's up to about $2,100, depending on where you look, which is crazy. And so the reason that WCCF Tech is giving for why Vega 64 specifically.
This is live prices on Newegg right now.
And I'm not kidding. This is not an exaggeration. This is $2,000 for one Vega 64 card.
Where's the Frontier Edition? Oh, look. A 6-pack of Frontier Editions.
Oh, yeah. Just get the mining kit.
When did they start selling 6-packs of Frontier Editions?
It's probably a Newegg thing.
Oh, that's ridiculous. It's probably a third-party seller. Who's selling this?
Or that, yeah.
Some douche. You Shop Mall. You Shop Mall is selling this. Look at their feedback rating. That's very solid. I want to buy this.
just based on the feedback rating. So Vega 64 is a outstanding mining card right now. At $800, when it was selling back for $800 late last year, you could probably mine and break even, according to the article, in about 4 months. You can break even in about 4 months. 4 months, just leave it on 24/7, not doing shit. You make your money back in about 4 months. That's not bad. But now at $22,000 to $2,100, it would take you over a year and a half roughly, to make your money back on buying one card. So this is definitely going to be a blow for a lot of miners, but the hell do we care? They're miners. And then the 1080 Ti has no competing card at the moment. I mean, you could argue Vega 56 kinda is the closest thing AMD really has to it. But you can hardly find a Vega 64 card anyway. The ones you can are obviously way overpriced.
Look, you can get a GTX 1080 gaming box for $700 right now. Everyone should buy this. Everyone buy this right now.
Wait, that's just the box?
It's the box and there's a 1080 inside.
Oh, there's a 1080 inside.
There's a 1080.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Usually ships in 3 to 5 days.
That's actually not bad.
Everyone buy this.
That's cheaper than what 1070s
Look,
are going for.
it's in stock. It's on Newegg. Buy it and mine stuff.
That's cheaper than what 1070s are going for right now. And you get a box for it. That's cool.
Let's check the 1070s.
So there's a hike in memory prices as well due to the mining craze. Hardware Unboxed did a really good video that they released earlier this week about why it's a bad time to buy or build your own system, and memory prices was like their part 1 video. They go in, they do a deeper dive into all of that. You should go check it out.
So when I shop on Newegg, I like to click this Newegg only radio button because I hate the marketplace. I hate it. They're terrible people. Everyone who works for Newegg Marketplace, I hate you. That's pretty hard. No, but they all suck. But so the Newegg Marketplace is selling 1070s for $900 each right now. Starting. The only one that's in stock is $890.
That's so insane.
There's a one in stock for $1,000.
That's so ludicrous.
These are 1070s.
Ludicrous.
1070s, wow.
Even the one on the box is going for $150 over MSRP.
No, definitely get this GTX 1070. It comes with a gaming box, and it's $300 cheaper than any of the other competing 1070s. Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't just buy this. Maybe it's probably going to be sold out when I click on it.
Is that a mini? Looks like a mini.
It's probably the mini, yeah.
Oh, it's cute.
But it's it's still 1070.
The Gigabyte makes one of the best mini high-end cards right now.
Yeah, like why?
Them and Zotac.
Why would you buy one of these $900 cards when you can get this box
for almost half the price?
$600.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's nuts.
But yeah.
So crazy. So anyway, MSRP suggestions, they're all dead. It seems like pricing for GPUs and memory and more computer hardware is just more and more reliant and dependent on the market trends and this market equilibrium when it comes to mining and memory supply and demand. MSRPs are they're dead. Just crazy. It wasn't like this, at least for certain things. Like SSDs obviously aren't affected by any of this really, but Jesus, the most expensive part, arguably the most expensive part in your system, it just got way more expensive. So maybe hold off on building a system for now. Yep. Intel. Speaking of GPUs, Intel is preparing their own discrete GPUs, believe it or not, for Gen 12 and Gen 13. This is, Gen 12 and 13 CPUs, their core CPUs. These are codenamed Arctic Sound and Jupiter Sound. I think they're biting off of your Arctic Panther a little bit.
They are.
They're like, we can't call it Arctic Panther, but what happens every time he says Arctic Panther? There's an Arctic sound that plays right afterwards.
Let's see if this fits with Intel's codename scheme, which means it has to be on a map. So we'll Google search for Arctic Sound.
Arctic Sound. Arctic Sound is a popular city in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hold on.
Actually, Las Vegas is a city.
I don't want to click on things.
So late last year, a lot of you guys know Intel snatched up Raja Koduri, which was the now the ex-senior VP and chief architect at AMD. And they're like, hey, Raja, help us develop some graphic solutions because we suck at it. And Raja was like, sure, let's fucking do it. And then now they're planning to release some GPU integrated and discrete GPU solutions in the next few years with the help of Raja. Ashraf Essa from the Motley Fool posted some code names. That's where we got Arctic Sound and Jupiter Sound of Intel's in development
this is the Arctic
GPU
Sound,
solutions.
By the way.
That's it?
Yeah.
Arctic Sound.
It's
in Canada.
Up there in Nunavut.
It's in Canada.
Yeah.
I feel betrayed. Why would they ever go to Canada?
This is it right here.
So it's just a lake.
If you want the true, authentic Arctic Sound,
it is a lake.
This is where. No, it's a sound.
No, that's impossible.
This is not a lake. It's part of the Arctic Ocean. And this is a sound because there's...
What sound does the Arctic Ocean make? How is it different than any other ocean?
It makes the Arctic sound.
Why don't you just call it ocean sound? Water sound.
Because...
It doesn't sound as cool.
It doesn't sound as cool.
Marketing.
Where's Jupiter?
Hashtag marketing. So, yeah. We're not going to see these for a long time, guys. Don't get excited right now, because this is 12th and 13th gen we're talking about. I mean, we're not even on 10th gen yet, which is going to be Cannon Lake. Right? That's still a ways out. So...
I found Jupiter sound.
Maybe... Oh,
It's in
Jupiter
Florida.
sound.
It's in Florida.
Is Jupiter sound also an ocean?
What? No, it's not. It's part of the ocean. It's a sound. See?
No!
It's a sound. It's a body of water.
Let me see a...
It's contiguous with the ocean, but separated by individual
Let me see
islands.
let me see a street view of this sound.
This is a street view?
Yeah. I want to see a street view of this sound.
Let's take a look.
Let's see what the sound looks like.
Oh, look at that.
Ah.
It's a bunch of mangroves.
What the hell?
Wow, this is very... Oh, look, so that we can read the sign.
Oh, wow. It's like we don't even need to visit here.
Native and
Native and exotic plants. I thought I was going to say native and exotic sounds. Where are the sounds? Why are they talking about plants
It's the Jupiter
when
sound.
Jupiter sound is right next to it?
This is obviously a nice trail here.
It's a
but,
terrible park, where whatever it is. They don't have their priorities straight. There's Jupiter sound right next to you.
Florida.
You're talking about plants.
It's Florida.
I'm
right?
triggered. Anyway.
It's got to be a better street view of the sound.
Anyway, we don't really know anything about these graphic solutions other than their code names, and that they'll be connecting, at least Arctic sound will connect to the CPUs via EMIB, which is Intel's Embedded Multi-Die Interconnect Bridge, which cues us in to believe that we're going to see a similar solution as the 8th gen CPUs that are paired with Vega graphics. That'll sort of be the same solution that's built onto these new graphic solutions. So, you know, is that what it's going to take for discrete GPU prices to finally drop? Is it Intel has to make a discrete GPU? What would that even look like?
That's what we're coming to.
I mean, it would just look like any other GPU, because at the end of the day, the ad and board partners would put their flair on it.
They probably have a skull trail. They have the skull trail logo.
A little
on it.
skull on it. Bring back the skull trail.
Anytime Intel does something and they're like, "Oh, this is actually cool. Let's put the skull trail logo."
Oh yeah, skulls are still cool because we're still living in the 90s.
Look, I made a nook. Let's put the skull trail.
Our marketing team's still in the 90s. Still listens to Korn and Slipknot. He's hip. He knows the lingo.
I like corn.
I like corn too. Corn on the cob's the best. Motherboard manufacturers, let's move on to our next story, are addressing the Spectre and Meltdown exploits with BIOS updates, as Paul sort of mentioned on his half.
Okay.
This is an article from Hot Hardware. Just want to let you guys know that there are resources out there. Links from Gigabyte, MSI, and Asus have just released all these firmware updates for a ton of motherboard models that offer further protection and sort of mitigate Meltdown and Spectre issues. Asus, there's a link on the Asus website to over 100 motherboard models and their latest BIOSes. So you can cross-reference that with the whatever the latest BIOS update available in the support section of your motherboard's product page, just to make sure that you're all up to date and covered. Gigabyte has a link that they've also said that they'll continue rolling out more updates over the next few weeks as iterations to the protections come out. And then MSI has a link as well, so that you can pretty much make sure that you have all the latest protections and BIOS updates. There's no patch in sight, as I mentioned earlier on Paul's half, for platforms like Z97 and beyond or older, which is kind of a bummer. So if that's what Devil's Canyon. If you have a Devil's Canyon chip
Look,
or
if you
something
were
like that,
stupid
like
enough to
4790K.
buy your computer 3 years ago, why should they support you at all?
Actually, 3 years ago was a great time to buy a PC.
You're right.
As opposed to now, which is
As opposed to now when it sucks.
anyone who buys a PC now is the one who needs questioning.
It's
But
maybe, oh, was that maybe more like 4 years ago? I don't know.
perhaps, yeah,
Right in there.
perhaps.
They got
But
Z170 updates though.
Z170 is all good. It's just once you get to those double digits, you're
Yep.
SOL. So yeah, just a little bit of tidbit of information there. Let's talk about our next story here. Chinese police. The Chinese police. Sorry, I'm gonna get some shit for that. They arrested 120 PUBG cheat makers.
Hey.
with the help of Tencent.
Damn straight.
50 Cent's younger brother. No, that's not right. Tencent is a Chinese multinational investment holdings conglomerate. I'm gonna pretend like I know what that means. But they have their hand in a lot of different companies and entertainment, AI, and stuff. They're a multi-billion-dollar revenue type of company.
Tencent owns Weibo and Weibo and yeah.
Yep, and they own Epic Games and stuff. So they are doing shit. They're actually banning or arresting these cheat makers because it's a huge issue for the game itself. China and PUBG have an interesting relationship already because China, a few months back, if you guys remember, was saying, we don't even want this game. We want to do a permaban on this game because it violates our socialistic core values, is what China said. And then Tencent kind of partnered up with the PUBG Corp to sort of be like, whoa, we kind of want this game to exist. We don't want it to get permabanned. Let's help you out here. We'll try to make a modified version of the game to be all socialist and stuff. It'll be great. And then we'll also like work on getting rid of the cheaters because that's also a huge issue that's driving a lot of people away from this game and making them flock to other alternatives because there are a lot of copycats out now for this type of game. So they've actually arrested 120 people who are suspected of designing cheat software for the game specifically, which is good. It's a good start. There's still like cheating in the game though still runs rampant. There's right now there's tons of cheating going on, which explains why I get killed all the time. It's not because I'm bad at the game. People are cheating. Mm-hmm. That's the only way they could possibly kill me. And and people are sneaky. These players, these cheaters. These cheaters are recruiting and they're recruiting other cheaters. They're basically using the in-game's leaderboards to advertise their cheat software. So if you're a cheat developer, let's say you develop this really cool cheat software for PUBG, and then obviously you get on the top of the leaderboard, right? Because you're cheating, and then you change your gamer tag, your username to something like call or contact QQ489365. And that string of numbers is actually a private QQ number, which obviously for Tencent's QQ messaging service that a lot of people in China use, it's sort of like a private number that you can call or contact online to download or buy or purchase that cheat software. Cheat software, it varies how much it costs, but one report was saying it's anywhere from 10 to 14 Great British pounds. So it's not a lot, but I mean, if thousands and thousands of people are doing this, this could be a into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions, considering how many people play this game. So Tencent is hoping to reduce the number of cheaters, obviously, to protect the game itself and to keep people from flocking. I heard in an article recently, actually today, that Fortnite is now the biggest battle royale game in the world. I don't know if I think it might have surpassed PUBG even if it's for a short period of time. 2 million concurrent players, 40 million downloads. Absolutely insane. I feel like a lot of that is probably attributed to the fact that there's so many cheaters in PUBG, it doesn't make the game fun. At a certain point, people just say, fingers up and I'm out.
Fortnite's also, it's got a larger development team. It's made to be a little bit more accessible in some ways than PUBG, so
probably doesn't crash as much.
It's a bit more casual friendly from what I understand. I've only played it like once or twice, but seems fun.
Yeah, I like the art style and the fact that you can build buildings and stuff. It sets it apart a little bit more. But that's it for tech news, the hard hitting articles that we're talking about today. We still have some hot and heavy hardware coming up, but for now, let's do some Pimp My PC.
Pimp My PC.
Pimp My PC, where you guys send in pictures of your rigs, and Paul and I talk about them and tell you what to do with it. And
we'll tell you everything that's wrong.
Yep, basically. You can count on us to be honest with you. All your friends probably come to your house and say, "Oh, that build looks great, great." Those aren't your friends.
Nope.
It's only the guy who comes in and be like, "That thing sucks."
They're lying to you.
Rebuild it. Destroy it now. All right, Jacob. R7, Ryzen 7 1700, Crosshair 6 Hero, Kraken X62, Cable Mod cables, LTT not to a fan, Strix 1080, all in a Corsair Air 540.
Why does it look like there's weathering in this picture? Right? It looks like this copper.
It's the lighting.
It's like a copper.
It's probably the orange lighting.
Spray that went across there.
It's the lighting.
It's the orange light. But there's orange lights in this one too. It doesn't look all coppery. just a white balance?
White balance.
Okay. Initially, got a real nice color scheme. The fans are matching well with the motherboard and the memory and the cable extensions. Your cable extensions are a little not quite as clean as they could be. It's interesting because you have some combs going on here, but it's not quite lining up the way I'd like it to.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit more cable combiness going on with your 24 pin and your 8 plus 4 pin up here as well. Maybe just clean them up a little bit. I mean, they're custom sleeve cables. This is the type of thing you don't notice if it's just the standard cables that came with your power supply. When you get custom sleeve cables, though, it's more noticeable when they're actually not as tidy. Beyond that, you got a couple power supplies, a couple hard drives at the bottom, and you know that's fine. They stand out a little bit to me though. You got a red and a green label on the red and the green WD.
And hard drives just in general are just ugly.
I don't think they're inherently ugly, but I think it would be like, what if you did a matte black paint just over the top of them?
That'd be nice.
That'd be fine, right? See? Like you could fix them up.
Then they wouldn't be ugly. It's just like how chrome they are and just like the weird shape. Like make them look sleek. Just make it look like an SSD. Just put make the frame actually straight and angular and a little bit more modern. I feel like hard drives are like they came out. They've been around for so long that they came out. They've existed long before the sexy trend.
Yeah. Right?
Of like, let's make everything in a PC look sexy. And so they're just like, bro, they're like the 80-year-old guy that's at the college party that just hasn't gotten the memo. Like, what? We were supposed to wear RGB clothes? Fuck.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting too.
Yeah.
Finally, your tubing for your Kraken X62 here. It's just, I feel like it could be in a more pleasant, even arc, you know, from the origin to the destination here. It's got sort of a little wobble in there. Plus, it's drooping. You got some droopage, and it's actually touching the top of your graphics card, and I feel like it's a bit of a no-no there. So
yeah, very
nice, clean build overall. There's some things that could be done here though that would really make it shine.
I concur.
Yes.
Next up, we've got Sir Toucan.
Sir Toucan.
Toucan Sam.
All right.
With his 1080 Ti for the Win 3, 850 Pros, and 5820K with an Asus Deluxe.
All right.
Sweet.
There's the whole setup. Looking pretty clean.
Enthoo Evolve.
Enthoo Evolve case.
Yeah.
All right. Here, I want to. So similar to the last build we just looked at, here is a situation where you have some nice sleeved cables, and the fact that they're not perfect, they're not all clean, and like trained and everything with some combs in there, something. That's what's standing out the most to me.
Yeah.
Training those up a little bit, making sure you got a nice smooth arc without crossover of the cables and that kind of thing.
Right.
Is what I think stands out to me the most here. And
I feel like it's nearly impossible sometimes when you get sleeved extensions that aren't professionally made or whatever. They kind of come like they already ship sort of bent out of shape sometimes, and it can be impossible to train them. Some extensions are just impossible to get that really nice show floor look and feel. So if that's what you're craving, go with someone like Nsourced or Mainframe Customs or some other independent, third-party place that does it all by hand. Or the Cable Mod Pro Series cables that that recently came out. They're actually really nice too.
Yeah.
Gives you that nice, clean look, very straight.
Beyond that, you got a mostly like silver, black, white, maybe blue LED look going here. I don't know what you can do about your debug LED, but that stands out to me as clashing with the other LEDs on the case. Maybe you can disable that, maybe not. It's an Asus board, so maybe you can't. And then the RM on the power supply and the blue or the orange square on the SSD also don't quite match. Those are really fairly minor though.
I'd spray paint it white, that little square.
Yeah, maybe getting all those white would make things match up a bit though. But yeah, again, really solid build overall.
Yeah, looks great.
So yeah, good job.
Thanks, Sir Toucan. Next up, we got Jamie.
Jamie
with the Crosshair 6 Hero Wi-Fi, Ryzen 1700, overclocked to 3.8 GHz, and Asus ROG Strix GTX 1060 6GB model. Those go for a lot now. G-Skill Trident RGB 16 gigs of 3200 speed, Samsung 900, and a Fractal Focus G.
Okay, first off, I really like your component choices when it comes to
very well balanced.
Your overclocked processor and got a solid graphics card. Definitely standing out the most in your, just looking at your list here, is going to be your Raid Max power supply. I'm not specifically familiar with the RS530SS, but Raid Max, in my experience, not necessarily high-end when it comes to power supplies.
Is there chalk on the power supply, or what
there's
is that?
also some weird writing on it here. So,
that's the new Raid Max logo.
And also your cabling isn't doing you any favors here. So I would say a power supply upgrade would be definitely in the cards for this system.
That would fix a lot.
Maybe something with all black cabling to clean things up a little bit more. You don't have a lot of cable management space here in the case either. So here's also where like a modular power supply would help you out a little bit, because you wouldn't have quite as much of a clump of cables down there at the bottom. Beyond that, you got optical drives. I don't want to tell you to remove them, because I feel like if they're there, you're probably using them to some degree, but maybe masking them or putting black spray paint or black tape around the outside or something like that might make those blend in a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then finally, you've got some mismatched fans. So I'm not a fan of the blue LED fans you got in the front here. I'd rather they were just all white and black like your rear exhaust fan, or just something a little bit more consistent.
Yeah,
maybe red that would go with the red and black scheme of the rest of your system.
Uniform fans are great.
But yeah, again, really solid choices here when it comes to your internal components and everything. But really, power supply, new power supply.
Yep.
That's what we're looking for, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
Nice,
next we got
nice
Mark.
Mustache too, if that's really yours. Okay.
Core i5 6600K, a Noctua L965, Asus ROG Strix Z270i 16 gigs of Kingston HyperX Fury at 2400, and we got an N-Case M1 with the Corsair SF600 power supply and some Noctua fans. Cool, N-Case M1. That's a very, very tiny compact case.
Very small. And
it looks like you've got plenty of airflow going through it, definitely for your GPU there. I love that cooler. Nice. Interestingly, you've got the rear fan actually as an intake. Maybe just to help out on your CPU a bit, since you're not really getting much airflow from the front of your case at all, and your GPU is probably eating up all of the intakes that it's getting from the bottom of the case.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Cable management for this case, considering the case, is very nice. Definitely helps to have that modular SFX unit.
It looks like there's a lot of open area, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I think just for me, like, I don't particularly like the look of the traditional Noctua fans. They're brown and tan, which is a very odd color combination. I'll never really understand why they went that route, but, you know, if you're happy with it, sure. I would personally probably get some black ones or spray paint them black. That would be kind of a fun project because you have so many of them in your case. Sort of like, you know, take the blade off and mask them off with tape and just sort of go to town with some nice paint. It doesn't have to be black. I mean, it could be any color besides brown and tan, and it would probably look better than it does. IMO. There's a sticker on your, looks to be like a fan cable. It's probably a Noctua fan cable.
Might be one of the
just above your GPU
resistors that they include to lower the fan speed.
Could be that. Don't like it, remove the sticker if you can. And yeah, I mean, it's a really tiny case, so there's not much else to really gripe about here, but overall, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a top-down view too.
I agree. There's not much to be said here apart from, you know, changing the color of the fans, but when you have all Noctua fans like that, they're really nice fans, so
yeah,
that may or may not be worth your while, but really nice build there.
Yeah.
All right, Simple Silicon has a FX 8350 build with a 1080 Ti. 8350 and a 1080 Ti. 16 gigs of RAM, 650 watt power supply, 3 hard drives, 2 SSDs.
What?
All right, now.
Okay, some serious bottlenecking.
Yeah, you're definitely not getting all the performance possible out of your 1080 Ti since it's paired with an 8350. This would be a very, very solid potential upgrade to Ryzen or Ryzen 2 in your future. That's what I'm seeing for you.
And his GPU changes. It's a wind force in a lot of the pictures, and then it's something completely different in the good quality picture.
All right, so the 1080 Ti apparently is new. Was added to this build. Because it looks like there's a wind force in the older pictures that is probably not a 1080 Ti.
What 1080 Ti is that?
Palette? Or I don't know. I'm not sure. Hard to say.
Huh.
Not a side label that I'm familiar with. Or
Looks like a blower style card too.
But yeah, that's why I'm saying maybe palette or something like that.
Interesting.
All right, your cable management leaves a lot to be desired. You've got a lot of cables kind of wrapped around your tubing for your closed loop cooler up here, which just doesn't look that good. I guess I'd rather that than they were just out and loose, because slightly better airflow, I suppose. But really getting rid of those and tightening them up around, tucking them away wherever you can would be a good idea. Your power supply has the ketchup and mustard cables, which we often frown upon here, so some extensions might solve your issues there. Also, just generally speaking, you've got a lot of cable out here and about. Like, try to plug in your plug and then route the cable to the nearest cable routing area, and then you want minimal cable.
Yeah.
Actually,
pick up the slack, quite literally.
Yeah, grab the slack and bring it back underneath the power supply shroud or back behind the motherboard tray or anything like that. That will help tidy things up a lot. Or other than that, though, I mean, everything looks pretty decent as far as the color scheme. I don't even mind your RGB lights when they're on and on display here, because everything else is pretty much black, so, it doesn't look too terrible. But yeah, just needs some cable management redone, and I would say definitely consider a core upgrade to your CPU motherboard memory, because that 1080 Ti, it can do more for you than what it is doing now.
Yeah,
that's been confirmed many times.
Most def. And you're very lucky that CPU pricing is really good right now.
Yeah, you've already got the 1080 Ti. So
you've already got the most expensive part that everyone's getting railed on.
The CPU should be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's the last one.
Silicon. Yep, that's it. So thank you all for submitting stuff to Pimp My PC. We'll be back again next week or the week after that. Let's move on to hot and heavy hardware.
Hot and heavy hardware.
Our last segment for today. Cherry announced some sweet switches. Their new MX low profile RGB key switches. This is an article from Hexus.net. I didn't have a chance to stop by the Cherry suite or booth at CES. I believe that they were showing off these new switches there. So, so it's new to me. This is news to me.
I was able to test these at the Cooler Master suite. So I did.
Yes.
I did at least a little sample and clicked it.
And they feel good.
It's clicky.
They feel good. Overall, the switch height has been reduced by about a third, going from about 18.5 millimeters to just 11.9 with the low profile switches. The width and depth have also been reduced slightly, not quite as much. Cherry says these new switches will offer the same perfect operation feeling that Cherry's conventional switches have already established as a gold standard on the market. So yeah, they're saying no compromises here, other than you're just getting a more low profile, more compact switch. We're only talking about all the information I'm about to give you right now is only talking about the low profile red switches. Okay. Other colors will be coming out later, but this is all pertaining to the red switches. Actuation force and actuation point are nearly the same as their conventional switches, but key travel, the amount of distance that the key goes down before it bottoms out, has been reduced from 4.0 millimeters to 3.2. 50 million keystrokes with no loss in quality. You still get an MX stem, so you could replace, swap out for your own custom keycaps and things like that, custom keycap sets. Cherry says one additional benefit here is you actually get a shorter bounce time for higher switching frequencies. So basically the amount of time that the switch takes to go back up from when it's bottomed out has been reduced. So if you wanted to like mash something really quickly, you could potentially do it a lot faster on one of these low profile switches. So that's kind of cool. Gamers who are really into pressing keys fast will benefit most probably. While this is going to be, this is actually nice because it's going to be good for laptops, right? We're actually going to be able to get gaming laptops that have mechanical switches in them that don't force you to have really thick bodies because like companies like MSI and a couple others have made gaming keyboards with the mechanical keyboards in them, gaming laptops with mechanical keyboards, but they're super thick because they're actually full-size MX switches. Whereas now you'll probably get something like a little bit more like chiclet style. It's a little bit more low profile, maybe not quite as thin, but definitely thinner than the regular switches. And that'll be nice. You'll still get the nice tactile feel, which is great. But screw laptops. Why not just get a full desktop size keyboard with these low profile switches as well? Which is why we're also going to talk about Ducky's new keyboard that they've been teasing. Which is their Blade Air mechanical keyboard, using these seemingly using the MX low profile red switches that we just talked about.
How thin it is.
Super thin, sexy, has RGB lighting, obviously. 22 millimeters thick, with both USB Type-C and Bluetooth connectivity.
Ah,
that's kind of cool. I think the Bluetooth really factors into the whole portability aspect, right? If you wanted to take this on the go with you to a LAN party or something like that, a friend's house, it's slim, lighter than a conventional keyboard, and you also don't have to bring a cable along with you, which is great.
Yeah. Nice.
And if you just wanted zero, absolute little latency as possible, I really like this trend of going to Type-C, USB Type-C. I think that's great.
I like having the option because Bluetooth isn't going to be as responsive. So if you're gaming or something like that, it's not ideal. If you're grabbing it to take and you have a laptop, you want to do some work on the go or something, or that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But having the option, like
exactly.
I want to play some games. Plug in the USB cord.
Yep.
Go ahead and game. Yeah, that's cool.
It's also nice as a failsafe, right? If, like you plan to use Bluetooth and I don't know, your friend's computer doesn't have Bluetooth after all. At least you can still wire it up. Or vice versa. You forgot your USB cable.
Or your friend's computer is like some knockoff and it has like green tooth or something.
It's a Mac.
Yep.
Mac and their green tooth connectivity. So double shot keycaps, more resistant to wear and tear than their painted laser etched counterparts, with more backlight shining through more clearly. It's got a 10 keyless design, also furthering the portability feature, and yeah, that's pretty much it. No pricing or availability for now, but it sounds cool. Moving on, Crucial is starting to ship their full MX500 SSD line. This actually happened while we were at CES. I don't even know if Crucial had a suite or a booth there, but they did release their 1 terabyte model from this line before CES as kind of like a way to sort of like promote and sort of generate buzz around the new line of SSDs, their MX500 series. But during CES, they actually rolled out their 500 gig, 250, 500, and 2 terabyte models.
2 terabyte.
But those are all 2.5 inch form factor. They also have M.2 variants, but those only go up to 1 terabyte. So if you're looking for a 2 terabyte M.2 MX500, does not exist. Only goes up to 1 terabyte there. The 1 terabyte model was tested by Tom's Hardware, which is where we have the article from here, and it was proven to be quite a good performer. Actually, it actually had the highest 4 kilobyte random read performance at QDepth1 that the journalist has ever tested over a SATA bus, which is pretty impressive. Especially when you consider that it's only $259 for a 1 terabyte SSD. It's actually really good. That's like a Black Friday deal, but it's just the regular deal.
Or it's like a regular deal a year ago.
A regular deal a year ago,
yeah.
Exactly. So true, and it's featuring the new Micron 64-layer 3D NAND, so you get vertically stacked NAND. Very efficient. $80 for the 250 gig model. That's dirt cheap as well. $140 for the 500 gig, and even the 2 terabyte is still reasonable at $500. So, I know like the MX200 and 300 and stuff, they were also very cheap, but there were some gripes about the performance. Here it seems like Crucial has sort of fixed some of those issues, and now we're getting a pretty decently priced and performing drive that is one of the few competitors to the everlasting 850 EVO from Samsung. That's just been like the tried and true go-to sort of budget oriented but really reliable and decently fast SSD. Now you've got options. You can go with the MX500, and Tom's Hardware is also saying that the WD Blue 3D SSD is a contender in that tier. So good to have options. Nice to see that while GPUs and memory are failing, at least some of your parts in your PC are doing well in the pricing and performance department. Price to performance department.
Only you could make a GPU out of
NAND
SSD.
This GPU runs on NAND, and then SSDs become expensive. Last article here for Hot and Heavy Hardware. I actually talked about this in a CES video. Didn't get many views though because, you know, event coverage and stuff. But I thought it was one of the coolest things that I saw actually because I'm a portable freak. I love things that are smaller form factor than they should be. And it's also a lot of technology built into it. This is Asus's 4K OLED HDR supported PQ22UC display. Article originally is from Nantech. And the display itself is 21.6 inches, so it's not going to be a daily driver. It's not something that you're going to use 24/7 at home. You're probably going to want something bigger. But if you're on the go, whether you're a workstation professional, a working professional with like 3D CAD, whatever, or color correction, anything that involves color, because this thing has an amazing color gamut coverage, covering 99% of the DCI P3 color space. And HDR10 support, so it's got a very wide, it casts a very wide area with 1.07 billion display colors. The panel itself, if you were wondering, the actual panel is by JOLED, which I just heard for the first time at CES, which is a joint venture between Sony and Panasonic.
Oh.
And they have pretty good panels.
Okay.
I mean, at least Sony. I know Sony has some really good displays and stuff. Their TVs are great. Panasonic, I guess, supposedly as well. But JOLED is a new panel maker that we should be aware of now. So that's interesting. The panel itself is 60 Hertz with a 0.1 millisecond response time.
That's pretty good. That's
super fast. And as I mentioned, it's super portable, so the case itself, the carrying case, can act as a stand, or you can buy the hard stand that you see here in the picture, which also gives you a little bit of height and some tilt functionality or adjustment. USB Type-C and micro HDMI can be found on the side.
It doesn't come with the stand though, right?
Does not come with the stand. It's sold separately, that's right. And we're not sure how much that's going to cost, nor are we sure how much the monitor is going to cost. I'm estimating around $1,000 for something like this. Portable monitors in general, like high performance portable monitors, are expensive. I have a 15-inch IPS display that's like nothing fancy. It's just a 15-inch IPS, you know, 6 milliseconds response time, and it was like $350 from like a not super well-known brand, G-Chic. But it had it was the only monitor that I could find that was 1920 by 1080 IPS, that size, and actually had a micro HDMI out as opposed to just micro USB or something like that. So they're not cheap, these portable displays. You end up paying quite a bit for that, for being able to squeeze all that technology into a small form factor. But I'll be sure to keep my eyes out for that. I think it might be cool to try gaming on it too. Just see what that's like.
Well, the response time's good.
Yeah, exactly. Response time, and you know, 60 hertz isn't amazing. It's not cream of the crop, but it's 4K OLED, HDR10. Come on, give it a break.
I'm happy to see OLED.
Yeah, definitely.
Being more there.
Not just a prototype.
Yeah.
So that's going to conclude it for my articles. We can go ahead and dive into some of your donations. Yay. You juicy bastards. Let's start off with Fred Rant with the $20.
Fred.
I still think the pie in the face was better than the cork. The cork is mightier than the pie, as some wise man never said. Who knows? New year. Wonder what I have planned for you this year, Kyle. You have like a very... Fred has like a Saw vibe going on, right?
Yeah.
Like a Saw, like, I want to play a game. Like, fuck you! No! I don't care how much you donate. I don't want any more pies in the face. Last time that happened, and Wifey Sauce threw a pie in my face, blueberries got all over the floor of our brand new studio. And now those blueberry stains will never come out. Thanks a lot, Fred.
Down there somewhere.
You know what? You know how much it's going to cost to remove those blueberry stains? More than the $100 you donated for that prank to be pulled. So, yeah.
You saying Fred owes you money?
Gotta up your ante.
But there was one left over from my half by Jatan Loya. It's 250 of some currency. I have 1 gigabit per second for 300 gigabytes for $31
Good Lord.
per month. He's from India.
India. Oh, those
So,
rupees.
Rupees. That's pretty good.
Hell yeah. I'm just gonna fly to India.
I don't
every time
like
need to
that you have a
upload
cap
videos.
though. Gigabit per second. Oh, that's great and everything, but
Yeah,
cap it, and then that sucks.
That's true.
Yeah.
At least they have net neutrality.
That's true. India's pretty. They're
Pretty forward on that.
revolutionary with their net neutrality.
Derek Boone, $5. Did you check out the BMW booth at CES? If so, did you do the drifting? No and no.
No and no.
I'm not good enough with cars to be invited to the BMW booth.
I don't know.
Quite that
I don't know if you have to be over 1 million subscribers or you just have to be in with the. I don't know. There's that level of tech YouTuber where you start to get invited to the
things outside of necessarily your niche.
Usually it's like the biggest companies like Samsung events and like car events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't care about that stuff. I don't even want to go.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. It's pretty much stupid.
Until we get invited, then we'll be like, yeah, we'll go. I mean, sure. We're fine.
I mean, if they're invited,
you're nothing better to do.
as well.
All right, moving on. Jake 3D, $5. Oh my God, you're here. We've missed you. How was CES? You too, Jerry. Everyone is live now. Saw Kyle in some remixes yesterday. Have to catch the first half later. CES was a whirlwind. It was crazy.
It was over pretty quick.
It was chaos, and it was fun, and we got to see people that we love, and do lots of work, and make lots of videos, and drink a lot. I drink a lot. No, I only drink. Honestly, I drank the least amount on the CES.
I didn't drink much at all.
I drink so much more in past CES. I'm getting old. Getting old. People are like, "You want to go out drinking? And I'm gonna party?" I'm like, no, I want to edit.
Yeah.
Editing sounds good.
Get work done.
Yeah, I like editing.
Lame.
So lame. Kyle Smithney.
Kyle.
Smithney, $5. Thank you guys for being the best. Love the show. What's your favorite Sierra Nevada beer? XOXO from Chico, California.
The pale ale's pretty solid.
Pale ale or the IPA, the Torpedo's pretty good too. Yep, always a good go-to. Yeah, Sierra Nevada's good price performance there. Automatic Matt, $5. Hey, come on, Paul, please finish the HTPC before I graduate AIT in May. I'm hoping that graphics cards prices go back to normal soonish, please, PC overlords. Yeah,
okay.
we all do, and Paul will definitely finish his HTPC.
I think by May I should be able to make some progress.
By May?
Yeah, that's
the keyword being May.
It's good. Well, I may make some progress.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Ayo. Davey Chop!
Davey!
For the $5! I get more and more aggressive every time I read one of his comments. $5. Those with the New Year fitness resolution. Get to it! I started 2017 with a 135-pound squat and ended it with a 275-pound ass to grass squat. Just do it!
Does that mean? What's that mean?
Ass to grass means you smoke when you smoke a joint that's being held in place by someone's butthole.
Nice.
Ass to grass.
You gotta be strong.
Or you're smoking a joint through your butt, through your chocolate star.
Either way, it's impressive.
It's very impressive.
Requires a lot of core strength.
Good
job, TV.
Thanks,
Congratulations on your achievement.
I like squats. Dennis Show.
Dennis.
$10. I dare you to give away any/all of the obviously unused GPUs over Paul's head to current live viewers. No. Because then what do I put there?
I at least have the decency to put only like dead and really outdated GPUs in my background.
That's morbid.
Well, what else are you gonna do with them when they're dead?
Just dark and disturbing.
They're dead.
No one watched Paul's
You gotta put them on display. That's what I hope happens when I die.
You know better than Logan Paul.
It's my body there.
You know better than Logan Paul. Exposing dead GPUs.
Oh.
And your videos for views.
It's harsh.
Clearly for views.
It's harsh.
Dingo on my 40.
Dingo.
$5. Love awesome hardware with lots of emojis. I like the cat emoji.
Do those count as emojis, or would those be emoticons?
Emoticon, sure. I don't know the difference, bro.
I like them though. They're sexy.
I'm posting his emoji
Dingo.
or emoticon.
Yeah,
in chat.
The cat one is pretty cool.
The cat one's cool.
I like the cat one.
Yay, cats.
Joe Jenko with the $10 donation. He says he's from Jupiter, Florida. The Jupiter Sound is not a thing. Sorry, Paul.
Wow.
You
just got told.
You know, Joe, I feel bad for you
Joe.
that you're so ignorant of your own local geography, but
Google Maps knows better than
I
you.
would postulate that if you go to Google Maps and you type in Jupiter Sound, as I just did, you get Sound Tree Entertainment.
Sound Tree.
Which is in St. Jupiter, Florida.
It sounds like
I
a
clicked
sound.
the wrong button. Jupiter Sound, Florida. So you gotta type Jupiter Sound, and then the little drop down, Jupiter Sound, Florida, and it points right at this body of water where the Indian River empties apparently into the Atlantic Ocean.
He's lying. There's nothing there. It's just a blank
on the inside of Jupiter Island.
Blank white screen on his laptop. He's
It's
not even.
just
He's
south
not even
of
on anything.
Peck Lake.
This is all gibberish. He's making shit up.
So the Indian River becomes the Jupiter Sound, and
He's actually watching porn now.
Joe, I'm glad that you've learned something
Violent
about where
gay
you live.
porn.
It's not at all true. That's completely false.
I can't even.
It's
I
kind
can't
of
even look at it.
it's kind of softcore. Anyway, though,
Oh Jesus Christ!
Austin Goralski with a $5 donation says, "Welcome back. My Tuesdays are complete again. Ours are too.
Complete.
Also, may or may not have watched 10 minutes of Side A before figuring out it wasn't live. That also happens from time to time. We're so in the moment.
We lied to you.
It's difficult to tell
You
the
should
difference.
not watch us anymore.
Juan Guerrero. I don't think this is JJ. This is another Juan Guerrero with a $20 donation. Enjoying the stream while gaming. I did tweet Kyle. My handle is Hon Kazama. So Kyle, you have to go play video games with Juan now.
The next time I play video games,
So
which might not be for another
Tweeted your handle.
couple weeks, I will. Sure.
All right.
Thanks, Juan.
It's a date.
I appreciate that donation. Thank you. Guido Salducci. $5. I would like to buy $5 worth of Bitwit, please.
Bitwit.
Seriously, though, I feel like I made a mistake when I bought my Mastercase Pro 6. What do you think? Why would you say that?
Yeah. Solid case.
Mastercase Pro 6?
Pro 6.
Well, you might have made a mistake.
Cell's got a Mastercase Pro 6.
Aren't they dropping the price for it?
Possibly. I mean, you gotta look at it this way. There are always going to be new products. There are always going to be updated products that come out that might modify things or shift things or make things slightly better. So, yeah. Figure when you get a case like this, it's going to last you 2 to 5 years, depending on how frequently you upgrade, and that's perfectly fine. And it's a solid case, so don't be upset about it.
No. Own it.
Yeah.
Own it, man. Freaking own it.
And hit up Cell, because he's got one of those too. You guys can make the club.
Yeah.
A Mastercase Pro 6 club.
Buyer's Regret Club. No, I'm just kidding.
Evocati Productions, $10 donation. He says, donation 1, Ola. I was hoping to run into you guys at CES. Would have made an otherwise boring CES more interesting. Wanted to invite you guys out to the range to literally shoot the shit. I've been to the shooting range in Vegas last time I was there. Shot some guns. That was entertaining. Sorry we missed you at CES. I seem to have missed a lot of people at CES, but I never went to the show floor. And yeah, it was a shorter trip for me than usual, so I didn't see quite as much. But hopefully next time. And if we do, then maybe you can take us to the range. Yeah. Oh, he has a follow-up, a second $10 donation. Do you guys know what the hell is up with the PC hardware stuff being spread out all different private hotel suites this year? I live here and didn't feel like touring the entire strip.
That's how it always is.
That's normal. It's very normal. CES really sucks when it comes to, especially the PC hardware. Because, they're all out in suites at different hotels. At like Venetian Palazzo or at Caesars or at Bellagio or at Trump Tower. And it's all separate from the actual main show location, and it's all pain in the ass to get to, and parking sucks now on the strip because most of the places charge for parking now, and it's stupid. And
I did valet the whole time because I drove my car or whatever, and like some of the hotels you get lucky because it's free valet, but others like you're there for 45 minutes for one vendor and it's $20.
Ever since MGM switched, it's like at least $12 for parking everywhere. I mean, there's a few places that aren't, but a lot of places since MGM did it. At all their properties, they're going the same route, and so it's even Caesars. Caesars was always my. I think they're MGM too, but I don't even know. But Caesars was always like they have the nice self park at Caesars, but it costs money now.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for your donations. And next up is Fred Rant, $5. He says stop crying and man up.
I'd like to put some money on your gig and have a pie thrown in your face.
I don't think Fred does a regular live show that you could take
I know.
advantage of in that way.
Isn't that fair?
It's kind of a one-way street here.
It really is.
Yes, it is. Evocative Productions with another $5 donation. Part 3, keep up the good work.
Wow.
P.S. Good cat shitter video, Kyle. Actually incredibly informative.
A lot of people are saying
One
that.
of your best videos.
I'm like, am I in the wrong industry?
One of your
Should I
best
be
videos.
doing more random tech?
You should exclusively review
Sure.
litter boxes.
Just things that have to do with shit.
Rapid Fire 56 with a $5 donation. Hey guys, wanted to thank you both for your amazing videos and inspiration to build my first PC. Also, thanks for teaching me how, Kyle.
You got it.
It's always good to know how to
You're
Kyle.
very welcome.
Kyle is a very good teacher of letting you know how you should Kyle too.
Guess who taught me how to build a PC? This guy.
Oh, yes.
So thank you, Paul,
I
for
didn't-
teaching me so I could teach him.
I didn't teach you how to Kyle though.
Teach me how to Kyle.
yeah.
Is that the latest trendy dance move?
It should be.
It's replacing
coming
dabbing
soon.
any day now.
John Zekian, $5. Would a Ryzen 7 1800X and Crossfire 580 4 gigs be a good combo? That's what I was striving for before the Bitcoin invasion. 580s, 4 gigs, or 8 gigs are really, really overpriced right now, so it's hard to tell you exactly if you're... It all depends on whether you're about to buy these cards or whether you already have them. If you already have them, then sure, that's fine combo. If you're about to buy them, I would say don't, because in all of the overpriced graphics cards right now, the AMD cards are probably among the worst, so it's hard to say. You got to keep your eye on inventory and wait for stuff to come in and be available at close to MSRP, and then kind of pick your poison.
Yeah,
But
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Shane Smart with $5 donation. No comment. Thank you, Shane. You're
Namaste.
very smart for donating $5 and even smarter for not commenting.
Yep. I Hurley, 1989,
Hey.
20 bucks. Hey guys, I just made a Twitter just to send you a pic of my PC.
Ooh.
Oh, thank God it's your PC, not your dick. I learned everything by watching YouTube. Built my first PC, and it's a 1950X. Awesome choice. Can you tell me what you think? Don't be kind. Yeah, I mean, submit it on Pit My PC next week, and then we'll definitely not be kind.
Indeed.
But yeah, congrats on the new build. Wishbone, $5. Do you think CD Projekt's Red Cyberpunk 2077 will push modern GPUs that are affordable, like a 570 to 580, since others are way overpriced at the moment? Project Red is the same developer as The Witcher 3 and Wild Hunt and that sort of thing. So I would imagine that they're trying to push the boundaries for, you know, graphically awesome textures and stuff. That's not to say that their game won't be scalable. GTA 5 can look absolutely beautiful, but it's a super scalable game, so even if you have like a 1050 Ti, you can dump down the settings quite a bit and actually make it playable. It just won't look as pretty. So it's just a matter of how they're going to develop it, how granular the quality settings in that game will be. I remember that Witcher 3 was very PC forward, obviously, so it had a lot of control on, you know, various settings and stuff that you could mess with to get the frame rate that you were looking for. So I wouldn't quote myself on it, but I think you should be okay with something like a GTX 1060 to play that game.
You said a 570 or 580. But
570 or 580, then yeah.
Same answer there.
Yeah, exactly. So here's
might
hoping.
might have to adjust the settings or play at a lower resolution, but
Yeah.
for most games that come out right now with that kind of graphics card, you can play at 1080 no problem. Fred Rant, $5. He says, but your wife loved hitting you with the pie, and I sent that. What really counts?
And isn't that what really counts?
Isn't that what really counts?
No. What my wife enjoys does not matter. No, I shouldn't say that. That was horrible. That'll be forever on the internet now. No, you're right. But she gets plenty of enjoyment out of other things that don't pertain me getting pies in the face. So I will strive to keep her entertained with those things and not the pie in the face things.
All right.
That's all I got. Michael Schroeder, $5. Hey guys. Hey, you guys are great. I was wondering, in the Cooler Master Suite, was there any more on the Master Box Cube? I did not get too much info on that, so I would not be able to tell you.
I did. The base model is going to be $40, so it's pretty cheap. It's a little micro ATX case. Looks like a pretty solid configuration.
Is that the one with all the textured pattern on it? It kind of looks all...
The one with the top and the side, but there's also panels that you can add on the tops and everything, and then the I/O thing you can rotate to put on the bottom or the front or the top or the side. So it seems like a pretty flexible case. I need to get into it and builds in it to like give you a little bit more depth as far as like quality. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, as far as internal quality and build quality and everything. But it seems like the base model for $40 seems like a pretty solid,
cheap,
pretty solid choice.
Yeah. Well, cool. Guys, I think that's pretty much... Oh, Matthew Strum, $5. Paul's shirt is discriminatory against red dragons. Well,
this is the green dragon. It's from Lord of the Rings. What do you want from me?
It's because you're white.
There's no red dragons in Lord of the Rings.
You're oppressing my people of dragons.
There's frost... Well, yeah. Sorry.
Dragon lives matter. Kermit? No. Kenrit Siang. Sorry, I butchered your name totally just there. $5. Hey guys, just finished my build this Christmas. Just picked up a couple shirts. Thank you to the both of you for guiding the way. You're very welcome.
Tk you, Kenrit.
And hope your Christmas build
I hope
went
you enjoy
swimmingly.
The merchandise.
Yes.
All right, we got to cut off donations because I need to go home.
That's it. All right. I got 2 Johnsons here.
I got 2 Johnsons too.
All right. Logan
Double Johnson.
Bitwit overclocking mug.
I got the thumb screw keycap as well as the mug. Woo. One of my mugs.
And Kenrit again. Kenrit Siang.
Oh, yes.
I'll butcher your name a second time tonight. Crystal RGB shirt and the CPU cooler shirt.
Wonderful. One last Johnson to Jose. From Illinois. He got the 15-ounce mug.
Jose! And that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into Awesome Hardware. We'll be back again next Tuesday. And be sure to toss a like on the video. Go ahead and check out Side A on Paul's channel if you haven't yet. And if you'd like to do timestamps for me, I'd be forever indebted to you. Just go ahead and blow it up in the comments, and I'll be sure to pin and give you some credit. But guys, thank you so much. Love you all.
Thanks,
it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
It is.
And thank you all for sticking with us this long. So have a good one, guys, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Very soon.
And